There are stories that inspire us. And then there's Cristiano Ronaldo's. His is not just a story about football, fame, or fortune. It's a story about pure, relentless willpower. A story that proves what a human being can achieve when he refuses to give up, no matter how many times life tries to break him. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on a small island in Madeira, Portugal, a place of beauty, but also of struggle. His family lived in poverty. His father worked as a kitman at a local football club, and his mother cleaned houses to feed the family. For many, this kind of life becomes a cage, but for young Ronaldo, it was fuel. From the time he could walk, he chased a ball through narrow streets barefoot, driven by one dream to play football for the world to see. But life, as always, tested him early. Teachers called him foolish for dreaming too big. Friends told him he'd never make it off the island. And even as a child, he faced ridicule for crying after losing a match. But Ronaldo wasn't ashamed of his tears. They were proof of his fire. At just 12 years old, his mother sold what little she had to send him to Lisbon, hundreds of miles away, to join Sporting CP's academy. A boy, alone, away from his family, in a city he didn't know. He cried every night. He missed home, missed his family. He even thought about quitting, but then he'd remind himself, I'm here for a reason. I can't go back now. And so, he trained harder than anyone. When others slept, he practiced. When others complained, he pushed harder. The coaches at Sporting CP saw something strange in him, not just talent, but obsession. An obsession to be better than he was yesterday. But destiny wasn't done testing him. At just 15 years old, doctors found he had a racing heart condition, one that could end his career before it even began. He could have given up. He could have accepted his fate. But not Cristiano. I'm not done yet, he said. He underwent surgery, returned to training just days later, and came back stronger. By 17, he made his debut for Sporting CP. And one night, in a friendly against Manchester United, he played like a man possessed. He dribbled, he dazzled, and he destroyed one of the world's best teams. Sir Alex Ferguson, the legendary Manchester United manager, didn't need to see more. He signed Ronaldo immediately. But when he arrived in England, the struggle began again. He was skinny. He was mocked for his stepovers. He was called show-off, diver, flashy. The English press tore into him. His own teammates doubted him. But behind the scenes, Ronaldo was turning pain into power. He stayed after training for hours, perfecting every shot, every run, every move. He added muscle, mastered his discipline, and sharpened his mind. He wasn't chasing applause, he was chasing greatness. And slowly he became unstoppable. The world watched as the boy from Madeira became the man who changed the game. He led Manchester United to Premier League glory, lifted the Champions League trophy, and won his first Ballon d'Or. But even then, he wasn't satisfied. For Ronaldo, success wasn't a destination, it was a fuel. When he moved to Real Madrid, critics said he'd never outshine the legends before him. They said he'd crumble under pressure. But Ronaldo doesn't crumble, he rises. Year after year, he broke records. He scored goals that seemed impossible. He faced boos in rival stadiums, yet he silenced every one of them with his brilliance. But even for Ronaldo, life remained a battle. Injuries, heartbreaks, failures, and losses tested him again and again. He missed penalties, lost finals, and watched as others lifted trophies. But giving up? Never. He always came back, stronger, sharper, hungrier. And perhaps his most defining moment came not in club football, but in 2016, the Euro final. Portugal versus France. A golden opportunity. But in the first half, tragedy struck. Ronaldo went down with a knee injury. Tears streamed down his face as he was carried off the field. Millions of fans thought it was over. But from the sidelines, Ronaldo became a coach, a motivator, a commander, limping, shouting, guiding his teammates with sheer passion. Portugal won. And when they lifted the trophy, it wasn't just Portugal's victory, it was proof that leadership, heart, and belief can triumph even from the sidelines. Ronaldo's journey didn't stop there. At Juventus, he silenced doubters once again. At Manchester United, he returned to a club that made him not to relive the past, but to prove that fire never fades. And when critics called him too old, past his prime, he showed the world that greatness isn't defined by age, it's defined by mindset. His story is not just about goals, trophies, or records. It's about resilience, about falling 7 times and standing up 8, about being doubted, mocked, and underestimated, and using it all as motivation. Ronaldo's secret is simple: he never stops. He trains when others rest. He dreams when others doubt. He believes when others give up. Every failure only feeds his hunger. Every obstacle only sharpens his focus. He once said, "Your love makes me strong, but your hate makes me unstoppable." That's the mindset of a champion, turning negativity into strength, turning pain into progress. When people look at Cristiano Ronaldo today, the cars, the mansions, the fame, they often forget the boy from Madeira who shared one room with his siblings. The boy who cleaned the pitch just to watch a game. The boy who cried alone in a dorm room, missing home, dreaming of something greater. That boy didn't just become a footballer. He became an example, a symbol of what happens when you never ever give up. Because life will always knock you down. It will always test you. It will whisper that you're not enough, that your dreams are too big. But if you have even a fraction of Ronaldo's fire, that relentless belief in yourself, you can rise from anything. Ronaldo teaches us that success isn't given, it's earned, with sweat, with sacrifice, with obsession. He shows us that greatness doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from the refusal to quit. Even today, after decades at the top, after every trophy and every record, Ronaldo still trains like he's that boy chasing a ball in the streets of Madeira. Still hungry, still driven, still proving that no matter where you come from, no matter what you face, the power to change your destiny lies within you. So when life gets tough, when you feel like giving up, remember this. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become great because it was easy. He became great because he never gave up. That's the lesson. That's the message. Never give up, because your greatest victory might be just one more step away.